You ready?
Yeah.
What's up, Blueprint family? How y'all doing out there tonight? It is Marriage Fit Friday. It's Friday night, right?
Yeah, it is.
we
I
made
think
it
so.
to we made it to the weekend. Congratulations.
Woo
Um,
woo.
if you're listening here tonight, go ahead and um, grab yourself something to drink, a nice cold one.
Maybe even a notepad if you're really
Take some
interested.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a good show for you all tonight, honestly. Um, and this one is something probably that a lot of people are dying to know. And the topic tonight is, how do you know you found the one? And
Yeah.
what we mean by the one is somebody that you can marry, somebody that you've been waiting for your whole life to sweep you off your feet and to start your family with, to start your new life with in marriage.
Yeah, and someone you can learn and grow with. Because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, that's what a relationship is all about, being able to learn and grow with this person, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
And as you see, like my wife said, that's part of the meaning of a relationship is to mature and to grow in that relationship, and it brings the best out of you. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to allow you to be the best you, and also because you're learning how to care for someone else other than yourself. So you're being less selfish and thinking of others. And so, with that being said,
Oh, but in particular, why this is important, I just had a thought.
mhm,
This is really important because, especially in the first stages of a relationship, you're just like hyped up on hormones and excited, and you're loving the ride. So you can really actually miss some key important things that you need to look for to make sure that this person is actually for you and it's going to help have a great relationship with you. You don't want it to be one-sided. It's all these things that you got to look out for. So yeah, the top tips.
right, most definitely. So save yourself some time,
Hmm.
money, and confusion.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and list these top signs to let you know if you found the one.
Hmm.
The one.
Man or woman, it
Hmm.
applies both ways, right?
Right. Most definitely.
Yeah,
And then,
let's
so do
start.
you want to start with number one?
Okay, sure. So the first one is that the person will be marriage minded, right? Or at least ready for commitment, serious commitment. They're not out here just trying to have one night stands. They're actually really looking to have someone they can build the life with. That's just the first thing, even before they come in contact with someone. And they just have to decide for themselves that, hey, I'm ready for a relationship.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. It's called dating with intention to
Mm-hmm.
marry. So you want to have that conversation early with that person, and there will be clear indicators, what we call them green lights, and you can go back to our green light video and you will see signs when you know when someone is who wants to entertain you and want to be with you. So with that
Yeah.
being said, then you will notice that this person is trying to be very interested in you and want to consume a lot of your time, other outside of just dating and or
Mhm.
having sex with you. They
Mhm.
actually care about you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
And
they
you're not trying to keep them interested, right?
right.
They're naturally interested
Right,
themselves.
most definitely. And then also too, like I said, they're dating with intention. So they're on the market
Mhm.
looking for a marriage, not
Mhm.
just looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but they're actually looking for a lifetime partner that they can spend the rest of their lives with, life
Mhm.
the rest of their life with.
Yep. And
You
not
know,
just out for with ulterior motives either,
right?
just
They
trying to, yeah.
not gold digging you, not looking for money. I
Yeah.
mean, how many people
Or
out
sex.
there? Right. How many people out there get into relationships and realize that the person that they're with are only for them for money? They always ask for money or either
Mhm.
sex,
Right.
and they're always gone.
Right.
You know, and we talked about that before. If you're in the situation to where you can't find the other person
Mhm.
only
Yeah.
when they need money and sex,
Mhm.
then that's a big red flag there.
Yeah.
So if you're with somebody and they're actually, extending themselves and doing all that they can to spend time with you, that is a great thing.
Yeah.
You need to embrace that and cultivate that energy in
Mhm.
that relationship.
Yeah, and while you're together, look and see if they're asking questions about the relationship, or whether or not they're trying to see and fill out if they could have a relationship with you. That's awesome if they're talking about relationship. That's
Right.
for sure how you know that this person is marriage minded and number one sign into you. Yeah.
Right.
And could be the one.
Right. Most definitely.
Yep.
Number 2, because you want that
Oh, yeah.
death to till death do us part type of love.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's out there. You just got to make sure you pay attention to it.
Yeah, and that person has a conscious decision. That is a conscious choice and a conscious decision that they want to commit.
Right, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2,
Yeah.
the one will be someone who is set on you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, that basically means that if you are interested in someone, right, ladies, you meet a guy and you really like him, but you're not getting that same reciprocated energy. We talked about red flags, right? So that unreciprocated love, if you're not getting that same energy back, then they're probably not the one, because they're not into you too. Women too. Right. Men, pay attention. If that woman isn't like hitting you back, as soon as you text her, if she's not hitting you back right away, if she's stalling you or whatever the case may be, she probably may not be that into you,
Right. Or either they when you're together, they're not using eye contact,
or always in their phone. Yeah,
always on social media.
Mm-hmm.
They're not giving you the proper communication skills that normally someone who is head over heels with you would normally do.
Excited about you,
right,
and your time together and learning and growing. You know,
especially in the early stages of the relationship. If you're not getting this energy in those early stages of the relationship, it's probably more so that they're dealing with multiple other people. To be honest with you, but sticking on the topic, that person is head over heels for you. Giving you gifts every time they see you, take you out on date. Present flowers to you, things like that. Love to engage with you, touch you, hold you.
Conversation like too, like really engaging. Like you said, engaging in conversation and everything. Right,
that is someone who's set their whole attention on you. So that's what you want to reciprocate back with them as well.
You'll know that person is the one for sure if they're doing that. Yep. Of course, sometimes too, I guess I put a disclaimer here for that. Sometimes too, a person can be dating multiple people, and women, especially if you're trying to get a man who's a hot thing out here and you're trying to get his attention, sometimes it will require you putting in maybe a little more effort. And men too, you may have to put in a little more effort in the beginning, but you just want to make sure that you're not constantly the only one putting in all this effort. So don't be discouraged if in the beginning it's kind of like, y'all filling each other out, so just be optimistic, but at the same pay attention.
Right. Be vigilant.
Yep.
Aware.
Yep. Number 3, the one you are meant to be with would definitely be someone that you can trust. And this will come off right back. We kind of course, all these kind of hit right together. But if you feel like you can trust this person, if you aren't nervous or wondering how that person didn't hit me back, what are they doing, or like just little things, like if they're making you feel secure in the relationship, they're letting you know, hey, I'm doing this at this time, or I got work at this time, and this is what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna hit you back, I'm sorry if I'm busy, so it gives you that trust vibe. That's definitely someone that is the one, because you need trust in a relationship right off rip.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. You don't want to deal with somebody who's ghosting you. And what I mean by that is hard for you to contact them. They don't answer your text messages right away. Or they don't return phone calls. So those are signs of distrust, and often at times of people who are not interested in you as they should be, or either they maybe have other obligations. But by all means, you will know that you found the one, because this person is reciprocating that trust back to you. And trust was one of the foundations to a long-lasting marriage. So you want to make sure that who you're in a relationship with, you want to make sure without a doubt that you can trust this person. I say with your phone, most importantly, with your phone being unlocked. You need to have that type of love with that person, or relationship with that person. If you can leave your phone around that person, you hand that person your phone, and then if they go through it, then so be it. You should have that type of trust to where you're transparent with this person, and that same person is transparent with you as well
Yeah.
about everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
So once you know you've met that person and you can do things like that with them, then you know that they're the one.
Yeah.
They're not trying to withhold any information
Yeah.
about it, anything in their lives with you. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are dealing with somebody, and you all in the early stages of your relationship, and you're probably not there yet, where
Mm-hmm.
you have that trust build up. But once you are doing things like that, you all are sharing phones and then calling, other people with each other's phones and things like that, then you all have that trust build up,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good sign and indication that you may have found the one.
Yeah.
That person that you can live a long lasting relationship with, that involves the foundation of trust.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that would show that they're interested in you being a part of their life as well, and not so much keeping you closed off, because that's really kind of what it means. If that person doesn't want you, either when they're cheating or involved with somebody else, but two, they're closed off and kind of don't want you involved in their life. I mean, the phone is a good part, and not saying you go through their phone or nothing like that, but just being able to be a part. Hey, if their phone goes off, it's no big deal if you grab it and see who it is. Like, you don't have
right,
to
yeah, you don't
be,
have to.
yeah, be
There's no
worried.
fighting involved when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to cell phones and privacy and things like
Yeah.
that. Because as you become one in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, I always say that outside of certain, like, I guess, professional health issues,
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you to present that to your partner. But everything is transparent and involves full disclosure
Yeah.
in a marriage. Bottom line,
Yeah.
so that is what you all are working towards. So
Yeah.
build that trust up,
And
build it
merge your life.
right, build it with truthfulness,
Yep.
and it will last a long time.
Yeah.
To be honest with
And another point too, women and men, don't give your spouse something to question your fidelity. So I mean, if it's maybe the way you dress, not saying that you have to, let them tell you what you can and cannot wear and stuff like that, but just being modest in how you carry yourself and the way you operate throughout your day to day, so that they know, like, oh, I don't have to worry about, men too. Like, don't be so flirtatious and such, just so that your woman can, in the beginning especially, build a rapport in her mind or his mind, that, hey, this is how they act when they're around other people, and I can trust them and know that, I'm not, having to be worried about whether or not that flirty behavior is going to go too far or
you mean with
whatever.
other people,
Yeah, with other people. Yeah.
like with the waitress
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the dinner
yeah.
table or something.
Yeah. Little things like that. I mean, again, that's not saying that, oh, you got to guard your behavior and you can't do, be you or whatever the case may be. That's just keeping somebody in mind, because that's really what the relationship is about. Being mindful of, hey, how would my partner feel if I acted this way or, did this certain thing?
Right, most definitely.
Yep.
Thank you all for coming out. I see we got Instagram followers out there. I
YouTube
really
in and
appreciate
out.
it.
What's
Yep,
up?
YouTube. We got YouTube viewers in there on the Friday night. We appreciate that. And the topic tonight is how do you know you found the one?
Yeah.
So we're going to go down this list and give you some tips and drop some jewels on you to let you know that you found the one.
Yeah, because marriage fit, that's what it's all about. You want to make sure that you're doing this right the first time. And that means
Right.
doing your due diligence, right? Vetting this person, making sure they're giving you all the fills. You want all of them.
Right.
Hit every box.
I mean, because you want to be comfortable in your choice and your decision of who you marry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to feel like you've been shorted out or missed out on something, or you made a mistake. By all means, you don't want that to happen.
Because you ain't asked these questions or didn't know. Awareness is really what we're trying to bring to the table, so that you know what to look for, so you can make better decisions in your life.
Right, most definitely.
Yep.
And then the one will be someone who makes your body feel good or feel happy.
Yeah.
Rather.
Well, feel good too. Yeah.
Right, most definitely. So you have an attractiveness to this person. You love it when this person touches you or looks at you.
Those butterflies.
Yeah, those butterflies.
Yeah.
You love looking at who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
You take your time with this person to pay attention to them, especially when they talk and when they speak.
Yeah.
You have this fondness about the person that you're with.
Yeah.
So and you're comfortable, more importantly, especially if you're comfortable to sleep beside this person, you're comfortable to have sex with this person. So
women in particular, may I ask, because you mentioned the sex part, women in particular, often you'll know that that man is kind of good for you if you're comfortable enough to orgasm, right? And you're meaning it's easier for you to do it. It's less of a hesitation because if we're being honest, women, I'm talking about women here, your mind has really got to be relaxed to, get into it and get involved. So if that man can automatically, your body feels relaxed and comfortable, it's easy. Yeah, he's probably the one. I hear often women say, you get in a marriage and I don't ever have an orgasm, whatever the case may be. Like, that might have been a sign, like, is that the one for you?
Yeah, or either they need to work on that.
Well, yeah, that's definitely could be working on. Yeah. Yeah, but that's if it's easy. I'm saying if it's real easy, then like, hey, that's a good, your body feels good and comfortable. Yeah. But of course, if it's not, yes, all things like that especially can be worked on. So yeah.
Right, most definitely. All right.
Yeah.
And then
that was easy.
Right. I mean, then also too to add that, you feel a warmth and a calmness or peace
yeah,
when you touch this person or grab this person.
Yeah.
Like I always tell my wife that you're my stress relief.
Yeah.
And I release a lot of stress when I hold my wife. I really feel it. When you have that feeling, when you with your significant other, then you know that is a sign, one of the signs that they are the one.
Yeah.
You feel very welcoming when they hold or give you a hug or touch you.
Yeah. And even, speaking of that, since you said that, women too, when you read the energies of your man, oftentimes when you're deep in the relationship, you can tell and feel his energy based off of, how he feels when he comes around you. So say he had a bad day at work or something and he comes in, often your body, you will feel the tension just as much as he will because of the connection that you have. So often your body is a great indicator of reading energies. We often kind of neglect that because we're physical beings, so you don't think so much, but that physicality is actually energy, and your body is a great tool to read the energy. That the saying, like, your gut, trust your gut. Well, yeah, that's your body picking up on some energies that's telling you, like, hey, something may be going wrong. So yeah, the body's a great tool. Think you got
right. And then number 5, they have everything in common with you, or mostly everything in common, but they'll respect your differences. So I think that's more importantly there. It's unrealistic to have everything in common, but more so someone who you can agree to disagree with, but also more importantly, somebody who respects your differences.
Yep.
Whether that could be your religion,
your eating habits, even too,
right. Just your lifestyle as far as like exercise or your hobbies, as long as they're healthy, and things like that, something that doesn't cause any shame or whatever the case may be.
But even still, too, I think the cool thing, like we said in the beginning, when it comes to relationships, oftentimes you want your relationship to better you, right? So if you notice that your spouse is not eating as healthy as they are, instead of being judgmental about it, you respect that difference and say, hey, I'm going to help him eat better or her eat better by suggesting these things or cooking meals for them or whatever the case may be. It's accepting where that person is in that moment of time and still loving them from that, but at the same time seeing how much better you can help them be, as well as support them within their journey of life too.
Right. Yeah, because it is all about support.
Yeah.
There. So with that support, you will better your better half, pretty much.
Yep.
And then you all can learn and do new things in order to be healthier.
Yeah.
In your lifestyles as well.
Yep.
So yeah. Your better half, or somebody that you can have a long-term relationship with, will encourage you to make good lifestyle decisions, but also too, like my wife said, they will respect you, not judge you or shame you about your differences.
Yeah, and have open conversation. I think that's what it really all boils down to, because if you do notice y'all are different, even on some things as deep as religion, right? So if you are different on this topic, be open to the conversation. That's really where the resolve and the understanding can come in, so that maybe you guys can find a middle ground of, figuring out whatever would work so that you both feel comfortable in the relationship. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, this person is just like this and, this is the only type of person that you can date, but just be open to the idea of, hey, new perspective. Let me see what this person thinks about this. And maybe we can broaden our horizons and thought and come together, and create a new thought. Who knows? So, yeah. It's a cool thing about relationships. The next one, the one will be someone whose flaws you are able to acknowledge and still tolerate. So this goes again kind of back with the non-judgmental part, but a little deeper, even down to the core of, I guess, maybe traumas that they've gone through, that they may need to heal. Your understanding, and you can acknowledge it. And also, too, it's something you can tolerate. That's a big one when it comes to those traumas, because don't take on more than you can handle. If this
Mm-hmm.
trauma that somebody has gone through intimidates you or scares you, doesn't make you feel comfortable enough to keep talking about it or whatever, that may not be the one for you. Because if a person is having some type of trauma or thing that they need to work on, and then you can't tolerate it in the sense of support that person and maybe not judge them for it, or like shun them for it, or constantly try to change them for it, then that's not the one for you. Like, you're not saying that that bad habit is going to stay there forever, but if you can't tolerate where it's at in that moment of time, anger issues, if the person does, lashes out in anger too much and you don't like that, like man or woman, that's common in both genders nowadays. So if that's too much for you, then that's probably not the one for you. But if you can tolerate it, yeah.
Right. And when I talk about major red flags,
Right. Yeah.
so that's what my wife is talking about. So, you don't want to tolerate major red flags, like,
Mm-hmm.
financial recklessness or
Right. Yeah, that's a
alcohol
good one.
abuse or being abusive and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to tolerate that type of stuff.
Right.
You want to, just the small things, like, any like small pet peeves that you may have. If you
Eating too loud.
Yeah, eating too loud, chewing real loud, or talking with your mouth full, or stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's those small, childish, behaviors that you may think
Yeah.
that are annoying.
Mm.
That
'Cause that's
can be
marriage.
fixed. That
Mhm.
can be communicated and fixed. Those are type of things, because at the end of the day, you still have love for this person. You still love them, want to be with them,
Yeah.
and you don't want that to change. So
Yeah.
that's one thing too, that that you found the one, is when you can tolerate those small things. Now, I would encourage that if there are big issues like, childhood traumas and things like that, those
Mhm.
should be reconciled, and fixed
Mhm.
prior to marriage.
Yeah.
But overall, if it's a small annoyances, that may occur,
Mhm.
I think we all know something about our spouse that a lot of people don't know about them, that may be annoying. Like men, I hear men leaving the toilet seat up,
Yeah, that's common.
and
Yeah.
at night, and the wife falls in the toilet, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's small things like that. If you're fine with that, then you'll be fine with being in a relationship with the person on a long-term basis.
Yeah.
Um,
In particular, though, I will say I would watch out for this, like maybe 3 to 4 to 5 months down the line, because remember when we talked about the stages of the relationship in the beginning, scientifically, the brain is so high on like the dopamine and the serotonin of the relationship that you call this the forgiveness stage, because you just will overlook everything that person does, and nothing they do will bother you. So then it takes like later on down the line, when you're actually like that high has kind of come down and you settled into the relationship, that you
Right.
start noticing these pet peeves and you're like, oh, I hate this. Like, dang, I didn't
Right.
see this before. Like, but that is actually those things that you're kind of gonna still have to overlook, because that's kind of what marriage is about. That person's not gonna be perfect, and things aren't always gonna be a certain way. But if you can overlook the little things that they do, like whatever, I'll put the toilet seat down, it's no big deal. Like,
Right.
it will benefit the marriage overall, because it won't start those little petty arguments. Like, if he leaves or she leaves dishes in the sink and you don't like that, all right, let them know. And then if you notice it keeps going, if this
Right.
isn't something you can tolerate, then work to try to amend the situation. But if it is something you can tolerate, wash the dish, or keep it pushing. Like,
one of mine was when my wife told me, when you clean the dishes, clean the sink.
oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
I was like, because I never had anybody tell me that before.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I
afterwards,
feel as if like the sink is going to clean itself.
yeah,
Eventually, you keep on running water through it, then eventually
yeah.
all the food will fall out the sink, but
No.
fall through the drain. But
Yeah.
I adjusted, and I said, okay, I can compromise, negotiate, compromise, and then
Yeah. And even when he doesn't, it's not a big deal. I mean, for me, I'm like, but it's something that I can tolerate, because, dude, I'm not gonna cause an argument over something like that when it's petty. I can pick it up myself. Like, it is what it is. If it's something that bothers me, I'm so adamant on, if it bothers you, try to fix it yourself, right? Don't try to wait until the other person to do it for you, because then you're just going to be wallowing in your misery until that other person fixes whatever you can't tolerate. So if you can fix it yourself and it's easy for you to just deal with it, deal with it. But, again, don't get run over. We ain't talking about these bad habits, like bad communication styles and stuff like that. Those are the things that tolerate it for a little bit, enough to bring it into somebody's awareness. And then if that doesn't get better, it's probably not the one.
Right.
Or either not the one at that moment in time, right? Because, another next time.
And number 7, the one will be someone with whom you don't feel pressure to be perfect 24/7. Someone who doesn't make you feel as if you're walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
By all means, you don't want to be with in a situation or a relationship where you feel as if you have to be perfect or do everything perfect all the time. That goes beyond number 6 of what we were talking about, those small flaws.
Yeah. Where you hiding stuff.
Right. Or you just feel as if you just can't move around this person in your own home, or breathe loud, or something like that. You got to make sure that it's almost as if you're a ghost in the house.
Yeah, or even put on a persona. Don't be somebody you're not just to get with somebody. Like, if that person doesn't accept you for who you are, then that's not the person for you. You have to put on a front and dial yourself back, of course, or whatever the case is. Like, that's probably not the one for you. You want this person to like you for you and all your mistakes, and then not beat you up for them, right? Like, we're not perfect, so you don't want that person to beat you up when you do make a mistake or anything like that. So being kind and loving, even if, things aren't, going the way that you would expect it to be, or they're not doing the things exactly how you would expect them to be, you know, that's okay.
Yeah, this person will make you feel comfortable. That's what you're wanting to look for, is the person that makes you feel comfortable when you are around them, safe. You feel protected. You feel like you're in a safe space. You can tell them anything that you can. And it's not somebody that you want to hide, seek your secrets from, or things like that. So you don't feel any pressure.
It creates a flexibility between the bond that you all will have too. So that means as you go through life, which is really important, when things happen, you're okay with not being able to know what to do at every moment in time. You're flexible so that you say, hey, how are we gonna figure this out? What are we gonna do here? I don't know what to do here, and that openness, that comfort with realizing, like, hey, we're gonna figure this out together. We don't have to be perfect. Like, we can just be perfect together. Figure it out together, right? Yeah. So that's a cool one. The next one, it will be someone who you can transition between having fun and being serious with, right? So this is the big one. Going back to the stages of the relationship video that we talked about, the person for you will be able to make that transition between the happy endorphins, lovey-dovey, hormonal, just wave of the puppy love stage into the let's figure out, we are now getting serious, we're now moving into this, we're establishing what our life will look like, we're having those deep conversations, we're not scared of the deep conversations, we're engaged and actually excited to have the deep conversations, we're looking to make this something serious and not just for the fun of it.
Right. Someone who doesn't always joke all the time. Say for instance, if you have a important life issue that has come about, maybe like a passing of a loved one, they take you serious. Or if there's something that you're in your feelings about, they will address it with you in a serious manner, and not shun your feelings off or try to shoo you away and neglect your emotions and your feelings. They take all of you seriously. You may joke sometimes, especially guys. We joke a lot about small, simple things, and something at times, we may catch ourselves trying to joke when something is serious. But we will, someone who can ground themselves back and be serious with you to let you know that we really care, and also that we are interested in what you have to say. And we understand too that we don't always have to fix everything, but we're just here as a support system, and if in a time of need, or if you need to vent about something. So that person, if you have that person in your life, then that's a check for them being someone that you possibly can be in a long-term relationship with. They may be the one.
Yeah, and if you can have, and definitely make sure you can have fun with them, right? Yeah, laugh and joke and be silly and not take life so serious all the time. But yeah, know when to get serious too.
Like, keep in mind that they need to check off all of these that we're
Yeah,
telling you all tonight, not just one of these.
right.
So, so
Right,
they
and
check
that's
off,
like it's a list, right?
right, there's a list. I mean, vetting somebody and making sure that they're the right one for you is a process.
Yeah.
Is a process. You don't always get it right the first time. You don't. So regardless of how many people you may date, it may be sometimes it is a trial and error situation.
Yeah.
To where you have to really find the right one. And
Yeah.
these are the checkpoints that you need to be looking at and seeing whether they can fill in these descriptions that we're providing to you all.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just looks or money.
Mm-hmm.
It really goes with these personality types and also their character as well. So
Yep.
All right, let's proceed.
Yeah, well, we kind of hit on this one, but the one would be someone who can make you laugh and laugh at yourself, right? So you're comfortable enough to have those conversations and you don't feel, I guess, scared in a way or criticized or critiqued so much to like be embarrassed around them.
I got a good one for this one. If you can fart around this person, if you can pass gas with this person or laugh and then laugh about it with this person, then you're comfortable. How many people out there remember being in a relationship with somebody and they never heard you fart before? I'm just being honest with you. If you're doing that type of stuff, you holding it in, more than likely that probably ain't the one.
Yeah.
The one person for you. I'm just being serious, for real. Like, think about that now. You do it around your family and friends, your brothers, your loved ones.
Yeah.
This person should be the same way.
Yeah.
The type of person that you're with. You shouldn't have to hold your gas in. I mean, it all depends on what setting you're in or whatever the case may be. You don't want to do it on the date while you're eating dinner or whatever the case may be. You want to be polite and have your manners, of course.
Yeah.
But if you're just at home, with this person chilling and you ain't passing gas, then something may be an issue.
Yeah.
Whether you're not comfortable with this person at all. That's an issue.
Yeah, and humor is a way to kind of lighten up the mood, right? So it's always nice if you can have somebody who will be that higher, greater, lighter perspective with you and can help you see the brighter side of things. That goes to that green light of a person being positive, right? So they're not quick to judge you like, oh, you stink, but kind of like make a joke out of it or something like that. And it makes it give it that, brighter perspective of, hey, like I can laugh at myself. Like things don't have to be doom and gloom or embarrassing or whatever,
Right,
cool.
Most definitely. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Humor.
Yeah.
So you enjoy their humor as well. You may not always like their jokes, but they have a sense of humor. That laughing is what they say is like one of the cures for the soul.
Yeah.
So you enjoy your time with this person, and their humor and the jokes and times that you all share together.
Yep.
So.
And now we can get on serious. Someone that is the one for you will be able to work through conflicts with you.
That's number 10.
Yep. Now back to that serious side. So you want somebody to actually be able to pull up to that table with you when things get rough and say, hey, how are we going to figure this out? Not run away, not be scared, not, any of that. Just not lash out, not, get abusive, none of that. Just actually be able to come to the table and conflict resolve with you. If that man or woman is doing that, then hey, yeah, you got a one for you, because not many people are really wanting to conflict resolve and actually do the thought that comes with conjuring up solutions on how a relationship can move forward, because that's ultimately what it is.
Right. So that's one of the things that we preach, is to reconcile your feelings. If you're in a situation to where you're arguing, first, both of you all need to voice your feelings, reconcile your feelings, and then get those out the way, negotiate. If there's an issue and somebody's doing something wrong in the relationship, you need to negotiate until you resolve, until you find an answer that is balanced for both of you all to work with.
Yeah.
Understand that it may not be the last time that you all have an issue, but just keep in mind that if you keep that pattern going of reconciling your feelings, negotiating, and then resolving, then eventually you all will get the conflict resolved. And do less arguing about whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
How I know, because me and my wife tried it, we've done it, and it works over and over again. We have fewer arguments. We have fewer, and we found this out on our own, to be honest with you.
Yeah, early,
Because in the beginning of our marriage, I didn't know anything about this or cared to do anything of like this. Because, growing up with my brother, all we did was fight and argue, and then that's it. We just went on about our business, and then we loved each other at the end of the day. But being in a relationship, what happens is that you harbor feelings.
Yeah.
So if you don't properly express yourself, if you don't properly figure out ways to negotiate the issue and then resolve the issue, then you're still going to be stuck in this cycle of arguing, this on again, off again type thing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be put in that perpetuation of, arguing over and over again.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. So you want to have somebody that you can be serious with to help resolve conflicts with.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. And it also necessarily don't even have to be between you, you all, your husband or your wife. It could be with other people. You want somebody who can help strategize with you on how to deal with conflict with your children or co-workers or other people in the neighborhood, or, anywhere at church, out in public. You want to be that, have somebody with you that has your support in that way.
Yeah. Not trying to keep problems, but to actually look on how to improve, problems.
The situation, yeah.
And even themselves, like not just saying like that person has to have it all together and know how to conflict resolve, but just be looking to even improve and interested in conflict resolving. That is just a good indicator alone.
Right. And if you need some additional conflict resolution skills or information, by all means, you can schedule a consultation through my wife's internet website, wifeconomics.com, and schedule a consultation with us. And we'll be more than glad to shed some light and provide some extra jewels to you and your loved ones.
Specifically for, specific situations. Yeah.
Yep, most definitely.
Yep. So, and the next one, the one will know how to fight and make up with you, right? So it goes again back to the conflict resolution, but this isn't you always apologizing and submitting and having to do this, but both of you guys can come together and make up with each other. You guys know how to do that. You're wanting to do that. Sometimes he'll come to you or you go to him, but it's mutual. It's not always just you submitting and, apologizing or whatever the case is, but actually being able to come together and want to make up together. So having those moments of you bring each other chocolates or whatever, you'll come up in your relationship, you'll come up with your own little things that you do that make each other feel good based off of kind of your own personality and the things that person likes. Right. So just being able to do those things, keeping those things in mind and actually having the attempt to do it.
I want to read this because this is good.
Yeah.
And it says, speaking of scuffles, a great sign of a solid match for you is a fighting style that doesn't make mountains out of molehills.
Yeah.
So pay attention to that. So you want to be in a situation to where you're not creating big issues out of small problems and blowing up all over the place.
Catastrophizing.
Right. Whether this person either just gets you what makes you tick and how to come to common ground from the get-go, or they figure it out by learning about you. They will do their damnedest to communicate and compromise with you.
Yep.
So understand that.
They'll come to you. They're not going to be the ones that you're always going to them. They'll come to you too. They'll be wanting to resolve this with you. They're not going to want to have that silent treatment for weeks.
Right. and then I encourage that both of you come together to try to resolve as soon as possible. And I understand that hot heads, start the arguments. But just try to bring yourself down as soon as you can to conflict resolve, because you don't want issues to linger in your relationship. So the quicker and faster that you all can practice this stuff, the better you will be at it. I promise you, the better that you will be at conflict resolving instead of just holding grudges in your relationship, because holding grudges does what? Creates competition in your relationship. Don't want competition in your relationship, because the longer that it goes on, it ends in separation or divorce.
Yeah, it's toxic. So, it's really toxic. Or worse, somebody getting hurt or doing something real reckless, because, that's how it can go. So,
right, most definitely. So I had to, speak on, say that verbatim. That was a good one.
Yep, yep, yep. Want to do the next one?
Yeah, number 12. The one will take a genuine interest in your life and you will theirs. So that means that they care about your habits, they care about your health, your well-being, your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
They care about your day at work.
Mm-hmm.
They're always wondering how are you, even though you are apart. They'll
Mm-hmm.
text you, let you know how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll ask about you, and it's reciprocated. So you both are interested in each other, wanting to know how their days are going,
Mm-hmm.
what they're up to, and if they need any help. So you're interested in trying to see what their status is, not trying to be nosy or overbearing or nagging them, but you're just curious as to see how they're feeling and and if they're well or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and even checking on like keeping a tabs on if they know that you have triggers, right? Being mindful of like, hey, this may be triggering for you. Was that triggering for you? Emotional check-in, like, are you all right? How you're doing? If they're interested in the things you've gone through in your life and they want to know why you do the certain things that you do, maybe why you have a wall up the way they do, if they are asking these questions and are genuinely trying to figure you out, yeah, they may be the one for you, because that means that they're interested and they're intrigued, they want to know more, and they may even want to help. So that's a really nice thing.
Right, most definitely. And to our viewers too, if you all have any questions, by all means,
Yeah.
hit us up in the chat box,
Yep.
add a comment, and we'll be more than glad to answer it live for you if you
Yep.
have
Yep.
any
Yep.
questions. Thank you all again for joining. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
So,
The next one the one will lean on you for support,
yep.
and you can lean on them,
Right.
right? That's a
I got your back.
big one. Yeah.
Got
You
your
should
back.
be able to call them up when things are rough, and even want to call them up when things are good, but just know that you can lean on them and count on them, and it's not something that you have to struggle with. You're not trying to constantly tell them like, hey, I'm really sad about this, can you talk to me, I want to talk about this. No, they're actively wanting you to lean on them and come to them.
Right. And then men are sought after because they are protectors.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure, women, you want to make sure your man is able to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to feel safe with your man.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that he's providing that level of support. And then women, what you should be providing is a safe space for your husband to talk about anything or everything.
Mm-hmm.
But also to support him if if anything jumps off or pops off.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're there. He can count on you as well.
And certainly, though, women, don't just put your man in a position where things
Pop
could
off.
go. Yeah. That's part of being mindful too.
Don't start to pop off.
Yeah. This is toxic too. You don't want to just do that too. And then also, you don't want your man to fail, so don't set him up for some stuff just because don't get yourself in that.
Go get him.
Yeah, don't
get him.
Don't get yourself in those situations at all. Like, nah. But yeah, for sure, if when it all boils down, though, you ready to, it don't matter. You ready to go to war with this person at the end of the day. So that's definitely a great sign of that being someone for you, for sure.
Right. Yeah. You all have each other's backs. Mm-hmm. You all know that.
Yeah.
There's no second guessing that. If somebody is being inappropriate with your significant other,
yeah,
you know that they will step up or you will step up and mm-hmm. defend them.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And another side of support too, kind of getting moving slightly away from the protection side, is like women being able to support your man and helping him and bettering him and stuff, or men to being able to support your woman. I think it's a noble thing for a woman to recognize, especially if this is a man that you want to protect and provide for you, to recognize ways that you can support him. So, hey, maybe he's looking for jobs, help him with his resume, help him out with his classwork, if that's what you're good at or whatever the case may be. Help him do these things within his bookkeeping in his business, just little ways that you can, and support him, throughout the things that he's doing. And men too, if your woman is the one who's doing the things that she's doing, whatever, like support her as well. Or even if you see men, if you're a great provider, one thing that I often say, and I actually recommend it today, and I will say it now on camera too, men, if you come across a woman who you are interested in and you see that, hey, she may not have the wife skills that you would like her to have, support her in the sense of helping her learn how to grow and be a wife. Wifeconomics.com, you can sign her up for the class and the training and help her learn and equip her with the skills that she may need if she came from a home that, she wasn't able to get that example or that knowledge and that experience on what it takes to be a good wife with you, right? So having that grace and that patience to be able to support her so that she can support you is great too.
Right, most definitely. And then also to vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So usually men sometimes, or either women or anyone with trauma or past traumas, have walls that are set up.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to be that support system for your significant other so that you can help them bring those walls down.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be able to provide, like I said, before, that safe space and that support, and letting them know that they can be vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
So also that type of support as well.
Yeah. And the one should do that easily, right? You're not begging this person to support me. You're not begging this person to come out to my shows, come out to my things I'm doing, come out to this, come out of that. Why didn't you hit me up after I did this? You knew I had this big thing going on. They don't hit you up after and see how it going. And not the one for you, because the one will really be interested and engaged. It goes back to the ones we talked about before. They'll be into your life, interested, and they'll want to know how things are going. They'll want to support you, Yeah.
All right, most definitely.
Yep. Next up, we're running right on through these. Oh, this is a good one. We always talk about this. The one will share a similar vision for your future, right? Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
Yep. So you already know how many children you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know about life with this person, what it will look like.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we always preach is retirement.
Mm-hmm.
The one will be interested in retirement with you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Old age. What does that look like?
Yep.
But even before you get to that, your adult life, what does it look like? Are y'all traveling? Are y'all doing those together? Are y'all not? Is that what your house is gonna look like? What are you guys like? Are you is girls' night okay? Is guys' night okay? Like things like that. Have those conversations early. Share that vision. If you know that you want your wife to cook, let her know up front. Don't have her in those expectations of, oh, do I got to do that? I don't want to do that. If y'all ain't meeting on that vision, that's not the one for you. And shouldn't be a struggle. The one for you will be ready to be like, yeah, I can do that. Oh, and then they would actually be probably already doing it a lot of cases of the times, because it's something that comes natural to them. That's what you really want, like a natural type of vision type thing where it just comes right in, you kind of fit,
Right. We are realistic expectations.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about here, and just laying down the groundwork on what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the because normally the man is the provider. So normally if the wife wants the man to, buy the home, I always preach that the man needs to have a home to welcome in their wife.
Yeah.
So
for his protection.
Right. Well, I mean, not only for his protection too, but just to make sure that he's being a provider.
Yeah.
In the relationship. Yeah. So you want to be able to give that confidence, mm-hmm. instill that confidence into your wife to let her know that, hey, I'm going to provide for you and protect you. Here's the house. We live in this house together. This is our home. Now.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff, you want to know if you can, like my wife said, what does free time look like? If you're fine with, your wife going out with her girlfriends periodically or once in a while, then you all have discussed that early before you all have gotten married, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the one for you will lay down the groundwork on the future and what that looks like.
Yeah.
To both of you. Child care, if you're going to take the child to daycare, or if the wife is going to be a stay-at-home mother.
Yeah.
And provide child care for the child. One of the things that we discussed was homeschooling.
Yeah.
We had before COVID and everything else. Before me and my wife got married, we discussed homeschooling our children. Mm-hmm. And it became a reality even before COVID. So that was something that we had discussed prior to.
Yeah.
So those things are important.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be blindsided by sudden situations in your relationship because you didn't discuss these things.
Yeah.
Often at times these lead to unsettling situations in your marriage. and it may make or break your relationship. And you
Yeah.
don't want those things to hinder or fester because you all didn't discuss it or talk about it.
Yeah.
So the one will sit down and plan out life with you.
Yeah.
Not saying that you have to meet all of those life goals,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to lay out a blueprint of what life is going to look like with this person,
Mm-hmm.
expectations, and also to ways that you all can support each other in decision making and things that may have to arise. I mean, even hard and tough conversations like, parent or your parents, will your parents be living with you, or will they
Mm-hmm.
be, will you all going to send them to, adult
Assisted
care,
living. Yeah.
assisted living facilities or
Mm-hmm.
things like that? You want to talk about those type of things early and see what that
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
And or either financials.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about financials, and also we talk about credit scores. You want to know the credit score of your mate before you get married.
Yeah.
Those, be interested in those things and lay out that information, or either your health. You
Yeah.
want to disclose your health issues, or any of that stuff that you have going on before you get married with this person, and lay that information out.
Yeah.
You want to be fully transparent and disclose all that information.
Yeah.
And if you find that you have someone like that, you want to hold on to them because they're very trustworthy, they're forward thinking, and they are looking out for both of you all's best interests.
Yeah, and the long call, because
Yep.
that's really ultimately you're being honest so that you can plan and you can prepare together. You're putting it all out. You're not saying that, hey, this is how it has to be, but you're saying this is kind of what I'm looking for. How can we plan together so that ideally we both are looking at a beautiful life in the future of what we want our marriage, our kids, and everything to look like.
Right.
So,
Because sometimes that may be the deal breaker, to be honest with you. I mean, I hate
yeah.
to say it because I've heard people say that, the woman approached him and approached the man, and they're like, well, I want you to be the stay-at-home dad and cook and
Yeah.
clean. And then the guy's like, oh, nah,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. I didn't envision things like this to be with you. I
Yeah.
love you dearly, but I think that's the deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
So, make sure you have those tough conversations outside of, your
Mhm.
favorite color and favorite foods to eat, and have you traveled the world and where you're going and things
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
All that stuff is fun, but you really need to get down and buckle down on the serious items, and
Mhm.
especially life events,
Yeah.
and make sure that you all fully disclose that information so that they are not a surprise to you in your relationship.
Mhm.
So,
Yep, no surprises. And if you have surprises, at least you want to know, we can be flexible.
right. So you want to
Mhm.
make sure that person got your back. One of those ones that we had talked about before, so that they fully support you
Yeah.
and those surprises. Because if you're already married, then that's what needs to happen. You
Yeah.
shouldn't break up your relationship in those times, because you all need each other the most. Especially if there is a surprise, and it's something that you didn't know about this person, and they need your support.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, another good one. Speaking of that, is talking about your ideas of commitment and what that looks like to you.
Right.
Making sure that this person isn't going to up and jump ship when things get tough. They have an idea of, hey, commitment looks to me like it's going to be work, and it means that we're going to have to work this out, and I'm okay with that, and I'm ready for that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, the last one. Ooh, this is an easy one, but it's the most important one. The one for you will make you feel loved. Honestly, we know love. I don't know if love is so much just a feeling, something that you feel, or the energy, but it's also action. It's also behavior. It's all of these things that encompasses love. So you're going to feel it, not just through them saying I love you, but through the way they carry themselves, the way they handle you and your heart, and the way they just overall operate when it comes to you will really show if this is love or if it's just lust, or whatever the case may be. If they're
Right.
more interested in your body and not your mind, that's more so probably lust, not
Right.
love.
To me, love feels like, to me, is a calming peace. So that's what
Mhm.
love feels like to me. When you hold this person, you don't feel nervous. If you feel
Yeah.
nervous when you hug your significant other, then they may not be the one for you. So you don't
Yeah.
want to do that. You don't
Yeah.
want to be in a relationship with somebody that when you touch them, you feel like, oh no, Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what to do. I'm sweating
Yeah.
bullets over it. I mean, in a bad way.
Hmm.
Now you made me nervous in the beginning, but when you hold and you hug this person, they give you that calming peace. When
Yeah.
you feel that around that person, then you know that that's one of the feelings and one of the signs that they're the one for you.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's what love feels like to me. Like I tell my wife that, when I hold and hug her, she,
Hmm.
I told her, this is my peace.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what peace feels like. This is
Yeah.
this is my calm.
Love
And
is doing what you say you're gonna do too. I
right,
like with action too. I like in particular, love is definitely having the action to say, hey, I'm gonna do these things and I'm always gonna do these things because this is love and I'm gonna be consistent with that. Love is very consistent.
consistent. Yeah,
Very, very consistent. So that's mainly shown through action. So look for that consistency. That's love. Something that you can count on, something that you can depend on, that's love. Yeah.
right. Most definitely, it's giving. Love is
Yeah.
giving,
Very,
and
very
love is
giving.
kind.
Yeah. And
Love is
forgiving,
generous. We're
very
generous
forgiving, very forgiving. Oh my gosh, if that's the number one thing that you will have to be in a marriage, it's forgiving
and patient.
and patient. Yeah. But just being able to forgive things, because when you argue, when you fight, it's either you're gonna let it destroy you or you're gonna be able to forgive and move on. But true love is saying, like, hey, we all make mistakes. I forgive you. Let's be patient and work on these things and move forward. So
Right.
love will definitely be forgiving. Love is not mean. That's not love. Love is not hateful. Love is not criticizing. Love isn't
Abusive,
demanding. Yeah, love is not demanding, abusive. Nope, that's not love.
nagging.
Nope, that's not love. Nag is not, you can't change somebody. Love is not trying to change
Right.
you.
Yep. Love
Love
doesn't
will
try to change.
accept you for you.
Right.
Love will. And that doesn't mean um
Being
that you
ignorant.
yeah being ignorant, and love is not going to just allow you to take advantage
Yeah, we're
of
not
it
talking
either.
about
Yeah.
Stockholm.
Yep.
Not Stockholm
No. Yeah,
syndrome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't fall into that.
Mm-mm. No. So yeah, just be on the lookout. Those are key things. And I guess some people say, oh, love hurts and all this other stuff. Nope, love doesn't hurt. Nope, that's not love. I think when you're in a relationship, experiences can hurt, but love is the thing that helps kind of support that bluster a little bit, like help ease it a little bit, kind of make it a little better, like so when you're going through things. So
I think love will hurt if you separate.
that's not
Well, that's
love.
not love. Well, I think if you how
That's a
about this? Let me
separation.
let me
Yeah, I get
rephrase that. When you love somebody,
I
it
get what you're
hurts.
saying.
It
Yeah, to
hurts
be
if
away
you're be
from
away
them.
from
Yeah, yeah,
somebody,
yeah. Okay,
from
yeah.
that person. It may you will long for them and miss them.
A missing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that would show. Love is identifiable if you're away from that person. So if you're away and you like, oh, I'm missing something. I feel like something's missing. Then hey, you probably love that person. That's love right there. So
Right.
yeah, I get you on that.
Right. Right. Yeah, most definitely. I think we put enough into that. I'm not gonna go on and talk about that
Yeah,
all
yeah, but
night.
that's a
But
good thing. Yeah, because people need to know what real love
right,
is.
yeah.
Real love.
Yeah, they
And
do, because I feel my heart goes out to these young people, especially young girls out here who are looking for love, but they really are in
yeah.
lustful situations and
Sex isn't love.
yeah,
Sex
and
is
they
not
they
love.
think that sex
Yep.
is love.
Nope.
Sex is
Nope.
not
Nope.
love at
Nope.
all.
Nope. You can have sex with somebody and there may be no connection of love, emotional
Right,
connection at
and
all.
it's called a
Sex is
business
not love.
exchange.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be a business exchange, but that ain't love. It's not.
Nope.
It ain't.
Nope. So it's important for you to have a reference point. If you don't have a reference point on love, now let's just say coming from a traumatic childhood, you didn't know what love was. That's okay. But just know that it's not what you came from. At least that was my reference point. I had a trauma childhood, so I knew love was not what I came from. So I actively sought out the opposite of all the things I had been through, because then I knew, okay, yeah, that's a little closer to love than what I did, because what I went through, because I knew that didn't feel like love. So you'll know it based off of your feelings and everything too.
Right.
So
Love allows you to grow.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all I have.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I hope you have all found this very informative and it's really helpful for you guys. It's a big list, but please, as best as you can, try to check off all these boxes on that one for you, because you will know that that's the one that you can actually have a lifelong relationship with.
Right.
Yep.
Most definitely. And we appreciate the viewers out there. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It is Friday night,
Yeah.
so it's the weekend. Let's go ahead and start this weekend off. We appreciate you all. Please like our channel, follow it, subscribe to it, share our videos. And until next time, you all have a good night. Have a wonderful weekend and peace.
Peace.